Hey guys, I'm back with another video, and today I have super exciting Spring 2 stuff that I've been like chomping at the bit for, and I was like, please just let me locate these Spring 2 candles before the buy 2 get 2 ends, and I also have my 20% off. And so I did my due diligence and I called like 10 stores in the area, so many stores. Most of them didn't know what I was talking about, or they weren't out yet, and I would keep asking for the rose lychee candle and the vanilla musk candle in store, but a lot of the sales associates don't necessarily know what lychee is, and they would keep thinking I was saying rose tea instead of rose lychee, and they'll be like, well, we have a tea rose fragrance if that's what you're looking for. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm looking for. And then so like in the last 5 stores I was calling, I was like, do you guys have yuzu pineapple or vanilla musk? And that seemed to work a lot better, and I finally located 2 stores, and one store said they already had a lot of them out. So I was like, okay, let me go to that store and check it out. Thank you so much to that store, because then I was able to like get some other candles that weren't necessarily on the floor yet that I was super excited about. So thank you so much to the 2 very sweet, kind sales associates at that store. It's like, girl, I will shop at your store all the time if you can, like, you know, hook me up with the new juiciness. So I was super excited about that. So thank you so much. So I most certainly didn't just like stumble upon this store by happenstance. It was with much coordination and pre-planning that I was able to locate these stores and get these spring candles. So super jazzed about that. But before we get into the haul, let me introduce you to candlereviewer.com, which is my new website. I just kind of wanted to create like a website just for myself. So if you don't know, I've been a graphic designer for like over 10 years now, with the majority of it being a lot of like web design and website design. So I've designed like many massive websites with a ton of pages and like just meticulous months and months of design to it. And for once, I was like, you know what? I just want to create a simple website for myself that's not super convoluted, that's not super busy, but just was like all about candle content. And if you guys remember, I did have a like blog a while back, or a different website, but then now we have candlereviewer.com, and I was just like, I just want to create like a website that you can go to that just has like awesome like candle content that's either entertaining or informational in some way. And like while I have videos here and I still do reviews and haul videos obviously on my channel, it's sometimes nice to be able to just like scroll through words and read words. Like, so if you're in the store and you're looking for a candle review, sometimes it's hard to like sift through a video, and like sometimes I have to put captions on it. But if I could just like easily locate like a very like succinct review that's written or typed out, that's like so beneficial, so helpful, and it's just also fun to have like another form of record of like candle history and content. So if you are interested in any more candle content that is written, check out candlereviewer.com. You can also access it by thecandlereviewer.com as well. Either one will go to the website. You can also leave comments and everything, so you can also like chat on there as well and, you know, interact with it. And so I hope you guys enjoy it. It was just super fun and juicy just to like create my own logo that I wanted, that was on my own terms, pick out whatever fonts I wanted to without a client or somebody telling me that they didn't like this font or this, that, or the other. Creating my own like article images instead of being like nitpicked as to what the article image looked like. It was just so, I guess it was like cathartic, or just it was just something for myself, but also has benefits or like service or resources to the candle community as a whole. So check it out. I'm super excited about it. And now with all of that out of the way, let me get into the candle haul. Oh my gosh, where do I even start? I guess I'll go with this. So if you watch my Marshmallow Musk candle review, you know I compared the ILN of the Marshmallow Musk Room Spray to the new upcoming Vanilla Musk Room Spray, and the ILNs matched. And then I was also doing some sleuthing with the notes, and those were also both similar. And so I was like, I think that might be Marshmallow Musk. So of course I was like on the mad hunt to find Vanilla Musk, and we found it. So we have Vanilla Musk right there, and that's what that looks like. This is whipped vanilla, soft cedarwood, and suede musk. And sure enough, this is indeed Marshmallow Musk. Oh my gosh. I never thought that we would see Marshmallow Musk again. So we have the original one here, of course, and that's what that looks like. This was $26.50 with the massive heavy marble lid back in summer of 2018, and now we are $26.95 with a plain lid, but it is what it is. Yeah, they're totally the same. I can't believe I'm like reunited with this fragrance again. I really never thought this would come back out again. I bought like so many Marshmallow Musks when it first came out, so I only just got one because I still have like 2 Marshmallow Musks in backstock. So I was like, let me see how this version goes. Amazing. It smells, if you saw the review, it smells exactly the same. It has that like very powdery marshmallow velvety texture to it that's amazing, mixed with like heaps of this like sort of mature, sophisticated like women's perfume type of fragrance mixed in there with it. And it's like a mature marshmallow fragrance that I just love so much. It's simply excellent. It's just like really capture that velvety texture, the powderiness of marshmallow, similar to the Marshmallow at Marshmallow Fireside, or blush poinsettia, any of those like marshmallow candles that we got that had that like sort of velvety texture to it, most certainly in here. And it also has like a slight floral vibe to it, and kind of vaguely similar to like the way the warm vanilla sugar has like a sugared vibe to it. Yeah, similar to that. Oh my god, friggin' love it. And it's interesting because the ILNs that's printed on the bottom of the labels, like this one is a 30515, whereas all the new ones are like 64631. So like going like in series of numbers, you would assume 3 is a earlier ingredient list than the ones that's in the 6 series. So that would indicate that like this is potentially the ingredients list number from the original Marshmallow Musk because it has a 3 on it rather than a 6. So kind of interesting. But yeah, has the same exact wicks and everything, usually splits like crazy, but just, oh my gosh, it's just super exciting to finally, you know, have this again. So awesome. And that is another like case towards like identifying and keeping track of repackages, is that like if for whatever reason, like Marshmallow Musk was your favorite and you don't have it anymore, you can't get it anymore, having someone be able to identify and locate repackages and also cross-reference ingredients list numbers is a benefit to the community as a whole, because then now we can be like, oh my god, I can be reunited with Marshmallow Musk again, but I wouldn't have realized that because the name is different unless someone pointed it out. So I always think calling out repackages is just nothing but a service to the community. Moving on, we have Rose and Lychee right here. I was super jazzed about this. I was like, do I need to get like 2 or 3 of these at the beginning? You guys know I love rose. So wild rose, sugared lychee, and delicate raspberries. And this one has the core wicks on it as well. Yeah, it's nice, but I was hoping for a lot more rose in this. This is very strong at that lychee, however you want to pronounce it, fragrance. It's that super like tart, almost like sour, like grape juice and berry type of fragrance. Just really strong on that lychee, sour grape berry type of fragrance. And it's like quite candied. It smells like a lychee gummy, which they have lychee gummies out like if you go to an Asian market or whatever. It very much smells like that, with just a hint of like a prettiness in the background. But I was hoping for more of a like rose perfume fragrance, like that beautiful powdery feminine, like just elegant rose fragrance. I was kind of wanting more of that, and this is more like lychee candy with a little bit of like a floral backing. But once again, like this is hard because like I'm biased when it comes to rose fragrances because I burn so much rose that I'm used to rose and I want more of rose, whereas somebody who does not like rose might smell this and pinpoint the rose first and foremost and be like, well, this is too rosy because I normally hate rose fragrances. So there's always, of course, a natural bias when it comes to reviewing or dissecting fragrances. But for me as a rose lover, I wish there was more rose in this, but I'm hoping when you go to burn it, it will transform a little bit. So that was Rose and Lychee. Comparing it to Exotic Lychee from the Test Lab collection, right here, that's what that looks like. Which this also has raspberry and lychee in it. Ooh, well, this is even more like rotting fruits type of fragrance to it. There's something overripe and like almost rotting about this. Yeah, whoa, this is actually more intense than the Rose Lychee is. Like Rose Lychee is a little bit more pretty, whereas this one's a little bit more sour and rotting. So it's not exactly this, but they all share similar lychee properties to them. Same with like Radiant Sky also had a lychee note in it. Yeah, this smells more like a lychee gummy, whereas Exotic Lychee smells more like rotting, overripe, super just like ripe lychee fragrances. So that was Exotic Lychee right there. Palo Santo and Sage was also available. That smelled like a sweet cologne fragrance. It was nowhere near as smoky and woodsy as the original Palo Santo was. I was expecting like more like the usual smoky Palo Santo candle we get from Bath & Body Works, and it was not quite that, so that was a little bit interesting. Bergamot Birch, which is like a generic cologne fragrance, was available. There was also yuzu and white pineapple. That one I kept going back and forth on, but I was like, I ultimately don't really love pineapple fragrances, so I don't think I need to get that. But that was like a sweet pineapple mixed with like this slightly like ozone, borderline like fresh air cologne vibe, kind of chilling in the background, mixed with the pineapple is what I got from that. Reminded me a lot of the sea salt pineapple fragrance from many years back from the White Barn Coraline in the yellow glass. If you enjoyed that one, I think you might enjoy this one in the sense that it's like that sort of like fresh air, ozone, could be salty, could be like aquatic pineapple fragrance, if that makes sense. It was like pineapple and then some, but it wasn't like exactly all fruit. So I didn't need that. I think isn't like yuzu also in Fresh Getaway, which was also supposed to be like a fresh air experience. So potentially it's similar to that. So that was that collection. Moving on, let's see, what should I do? This watermelon and wild mint from like the Safari collection, and it has like a basket weave looking lid on it, which is actually pretty like 3D and juicy. This is wild watermelon, spearmint leaves, and crisp cucumber. This one has a thick rope-like wicks on there. I went back and forth on this, but I kind of got carried away in the store and just got it anyways. This is very heavy on the mint and the cucumber, and then the watermelon comes afterwards. But you most certainly get the spearmint in the cucumber. The contrast between the spearmint and the cucumber, which are like fresh and herbal, mixed with like the Jolly Rancher watermelon, is very weird. It's like a strange tension between those two fragrances. Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's like if you were, it was almost like you were like chewing mint bubblegum at the same time you had a watermelon bubblegum in your mouth at the same time, and you spit it out, and then you started eating cucumbers. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting, but it's the standard watermelon that you do get from BBW. Comparing it to Sour Melon Drop right there, this is way more, I think this is more just like, this is intense and strong and crazy, but it's a little bit more like sweet and pleasant and not quite as like weird as watermelon and wild mint. This one's a lot more, has like that Pixie Sticks confectionery sugary feel to it that watermelon wild mint doesn't quite have, because it is reduced by the cucumber and the mint in there. We also have cucumber melon, of course, which also has cucumber and melon in it. This one's a little bit more smooth, and it doesn't have the weirdness of that like spearmint just like kind of like screwing it up. And this one is more like honeydew melon than it is like a Jolly Rancher watermelon. Yeah, this one is more herbal and more like crisp and refreshing than I guess cucumber melon is, which is a little bit more sweeter from the honeydew and a little more creamier and smoother. So I don't know, watermelon and wild mint right there. Starfruit and Mandarin was also in this that I kept going back and forth on, but that was just like really another super sweet fruity fragrance. If you like your super sweet tropical fruit fragrances, check that out. It did seem like a new fragrance. There was almost something so sweet and candied about it that it almost smelled like there was a hint, like a lacing of caramel chilling in the background, that it was really weird. There was like a warm caramel sweetness laced in with Starfruit and Mandarin, but not super strong on like a zesty like mandarin or orange or lemon fragrance. Not quite so much heavy on the citrus. It was more like this creamy candy tropical fruit fragrance that was surprisingly warm for what Starfruit and Mandarin was. So I didn't need that, and that was that. Let's see, moving on to the like wraparound Safari collection, we have Blue Bungalow with these like cute little elephants on it, and that's what that looks like. And this one has the awesome like silver gold lids, silver gold. This one has the awesome like shiny gold lids on it that you can see right there, and that is the wraparound on there. Actually quite pretty when you have it in person. Salted Sea Breeze, Beachside Eucalyptus, and Floral Shores. This wasn't even on my radar. I was like, I've had Blue Bungalow before when it came out originally in like that Summer Terrace collection, and I didn't love it. I think I either returned it or I gave it to my parents or something like that. And there was almost like this weird like rubber cement fragrance to it that I really didn't care for it. It was like this fresh, like a fresher aquatic cologne rubber cement fragrance that I didn't love. It also showed up in the test collection with like Crisp Linen Breeze and Driftwood Waves in Atlanta last year, and I smelled that in store many times, and I was like, do I really need this again? And I don't. And so I never really cared for Blue Bungalow, but then I was in the store with someone and they were also smelling all the other candles, and they're like, ooh, let's check out Blue Bungalow. And I was like, okay, I'm probably not gonna care for this, but let me smell it anyways. And to my surprise, it's a totally different fragrance. I'm just like, oh my god, I can't believe it. So this one has a beautiful like turquoise blue wax on it, as you can see right there. Yeah, this is not the same. I was like, what? Color me surprised. It's so weird that they have had Blue Bungalow once before, then they tested it, and then they used the same name but put a different fragrance in it. Once again, this is what's so weird about Bath & Body Works, is that you really have to be on like top or like keep track of the database of candles in your mind, because it's like they will release a fragrance that you think is going to be the same, but it isn't. It's the same name but a different fragrance altogether. But I love this so much more than the actual Blue Bungalow, so I'm quite jazzed about that. This is like a, I don't quite know how to describe it. It's like a fresh, sweet floral. So what hits me most, and that's what I love so much about it. Did I read the notes? Salted sea breeze, beachside eucalyptus, and floral shores. I love the floral shores, whatever that is. Yeah, the floral shores is what's really nice. It has almost like a gardenia or a plumeria, like white tropical floral chilling in the background that is reminiscent of like beach orchid, which also became spring daylily at one point. If you remember like those old like old school white floral tropical fragrances we used to get from BBW, it is has a similar floral vibe to that I really enjoy. But there's also like this like sea foam, salted, like aquatic water creaminess mixed in the background. That's quite nice. It's not quite like salty like salt flower was, and it's nowhere near as like salty as salted ocean air, but there's a similar like warm bubbling sea foam like in the distance, with also plumerias or gardenias like blooming along the shoreline vibe to it that I really enjoy, that it really has that like, I don't know, like tropical resort type of vibe to it that I like. It's different in the sense that you get that nice, creamy, white, sweet tropical floral, but there's something kind of like beachy about it. And I love it. I love beachy florals. It's like one of my favorite categories, like beach orchid and vanilla beach flower and vanilla blossom and all those. And this is kind of in that route, so I'm really excited for that. And the beautiful blue wax is like the icing on the cake. So totally surprised, but excited about Blue Bungalow. So this is not the, at least in my opinion, it is not the old Blue Bungalow that we've had a few times before. So that was that right there. Moving on to that like tropical vibe. I was chomping at the bit for this because I had gotten the PocketBac. Where is it? Right here. And I also tested the spray in the store, and then I also did redeem a free travel size shower gel or body care item for this Coco Paradise here as well. And when I used the mist and the PocketBac, I was like, this is so immensely similar to Hibiscus Paradise. Like, wow, so immensely similar. The same exact, like, sort of warm, sultry, slightly gourmand coconut fragrance. It's not gourmand in like a bakery way, but there's just like a warmth or a depth to it that kind of has like a cozy vibe to it, which could be from the salted coconut manoi. And then it's mixed with like a floral undertone, which was pretty much exactly what Hibiscus Paradise was. And a Hibiscus Paradise was kind of like if you took In the Sun and add heaps of coconut to it. And Coco Paradise is pretty much like that same like neroli, In the Sun, orange blossom floral fragrance, and then Hibiscus Paradise added a ton of coconut in it, and so Coco Paradise is pretty much Hibiscus Paradise. And I was just like, this PocketBac even smells like almost identical, because I think I had the Hibiscus Paradise PocketBac last year. So there was that. And so I was like, well, I ragged on Hibiscus Paradise when it first came out, but then the more I burned it, the more I really enjoyed it, and it was just like this nice body care coconut fragrance, and I've been really into coconut for whatever reason lately. So I was like, I would not mind having like a Hibiscus Paradise dupe candle. So yes, Coco Paradise right there. Also has like a copper lid on it. This one is salted coconut manoi, sugared neroli, and bronze sandalwood. I think manoi is like they've used manoi in many different like body care lineups before. There was like an Island White Sands or something that was like sacred Tahitian manoi oil, and it's like oil that is extracted from like a Tahitian gardenia or something like that, and it's some kind of oil, and I guess they have a coconut manoi variety of it as well. So I guess like a coconut floral is pretty much, I guess, what it's supposed to come across as, and that's exactly what this is. And it's very, very similar to Hibiscus Paradise. For whatever reason, the candle has like even a sweeter warmth to it that kind of evokes like white, ripe, warm bananas, in the same way that Belize banana body care we've had a while back, which was amazing. I loved it. It was like banana with floral, and this one kind of has like coconut, banana, and floral. So I'm like totally all about it. It's just like so awesome, like tropical resort vibes to it. So I'm really excited to burn this and see how it does. So Coco Paradise right there. If you're like wanting to exchange for this one also has all of these actually have a sticker price of $26.95 if you're trying to exchange for even price points. So Coco Paradise right there. And lastly, I was able to snag an Easter candle. I was like, well, I'm on a run here. Let me go and see if I can find an Easter candle. So we have the Sun Bunny Loves You Sweet Carrot Cake candle right here. And that's what that looks like. And it is a wraparound. There's like an iridescence to it. And there's the botanical on there. And then the lid, that is what the lid looks like this year. And you can see that right there. Sweet cream cheese frosting, fluffy carrot cake, and cinnamon spice. Has the same curling wicks that it has had every other year, so I would assume it's going to perform pretty much the same. This smells just like sweet carrot cake always has. I feel like every time I smell it brand new and fresh, I feel like there's a little bit more spice in it. But the ion from this is like a 5 instead of a 6. I'm assuming it's the same sweet carrot cake blend that we've had before. It's that awesome carrot cake fragrance that definitely has like a fall vibe to it for sure. I think even the box that it comes in originally stated pumpkin carrot cake, so that kind of makes sense. You get the like fall cake spices in there for sure, mixed with like heaps of like a cream cheese frosting, and then like a cake element. It smells just like every other sweet carrot cake we've had before, which I've always enjoyed and I picked up every single year, so it's just kind of fun to have this again. So it's fun to get like a fall gourmand, like a heavily gourmand fall fragrance, like just smack dab in the middle of the springtime. So if you want a gourmand fragrance because they don't have a sweet shop this year, then check out the sweet carrot cake fragrance right there. And that's what that looks like. And I think that is it for this haul. No, that is not. So there's a like awesome like ingredients plus type of PocketBac collection coming out, and in it is the Mahogany vanilla fragrance, and I was so excited to see that, so I did snag this. I love Mahogany vanilla. I'm not at all a fan of Mahogany teakwood, aka black teakwood, aka ocean driftwood, but Mahogany vanilla is my favorite because it takes Mahogany teakwood and then kind of like tempers it with this marshmallowy, velvety vanilla again that they do so well, and that is mixed in with Mahogany teakwood. It's like this sweet, creamy version of Mahogany teakwood that I really enjoy. And I was like, I would love to get that in PocketBac. And this PocketBac is actually even heavier on the marshmallow vanilla component than the Mahogany teakwood. So when you use it, you get the Mahogany teakwood like sharpness in there, the ANF cologne fragrance. And then you get heaps of that like marshmallow vanilla fragrance. But when it dries down, I feel like the marshmallow and the vanilla become even stronger than the really super sharp, pungent Mahogany teakwood fragrance. So it's kind of like nicer because it's even a smoother, creamier take on Mahogany vanilla. Still pretty much the same fragrance for all intents and purposes, but you just know how like by format or variation, the scent can change a little bit. And in this case, I just feel like I pick up a little bit more vanilla than Mahogany teakwood. I love it. I was so used this in a body care if there was like a fine fragrance mist of it. Excellent. And that is it. I feel like I've rambled my ass off. So thank you so much if you watched this video. Check out candlereviewer.com. I will start burning these candles and do the usual reviews and try to post them both on the website and on my channel. And we'll go from there. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know which candle you are most excited for, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.